we need to understand one thing here is that every country wants to attract talent. However way they want to do it, whatever they want to call it, they will have their visas for talent, and then they will have their visas for investors. In the US, it's E2s and EB5s. And in the UK, there are different names for it. In Turkey, in Dubai, it's got different names for it. Call it whatever you want to call it. If you're somebody who's got skills and talent and you can show it and you can document it, you can come to America. If you got money to invest and efforts to put in, you can definitely come to America. Based on that, here's another question, Patrick. Are there any downsides to switching from H1B to E2 visa? I think the question needs a little bit of elaborating.
Yeah.
But
Well, I
yeah,
think E2, you're an entrepreneur now. So you're tied to your own business. Your spouse can work, which is a big benefit for the E2 visa. Certain H1B spouses can work, particularly those from India that have a very long adjudicating time for the green cards. But the E2 visa, Aladdin, you mentioned the dual intent nature. There can be some complications when you go through the green card there with travel, all things that can be resolved. I can't think of any other downsides though. Can you?
well, apart from the downsides, depends who the primary applicant is, right? If you're the primary applicant switching from H1B to E2, your visa is kind of tied to your own investment and your own entity. So its success is going to determine the future of your immigration, right? So that's one thing. It may not give you flexibility again. If you were complaining about the flexibility on the H1B, E2, if you only for the principal applicant, right, isn't necessarily as flexible, much more flexible. But if your spouse is the principal applicant, then you get a work authorization, which is the best flexible option that is out there. You can do work with whomever so you need to work with. You can work in the business. You could work for other businesses. I see more advantages than downsides, really.
Yeah, I would say it provides the ultimate degree of flexibility. And we have some very successful entrepreneurs that the spouse will do the E2 visa, and that gives them the optionality to start different ventures. Maybe some fail, maybe some have crazy big exits, and they're able to have a lot of flexibility where,
Yeah.
maybe the spouse invested in a franchise, stable business, a business that's going to be around for quite some time.